Baraka, umaze with the presentation.
Hey, I want to start.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Baraka Boaz, a student of Uganda Materials University, offering the Bachelor of Computer Science and Information Technology with the below registration number there. Today, I'm trying to discuss and explain about emerging technology used in cloud computing or under cloud computing. So here I brought a technology called virtualization, and here is the definition of virtualization, which explain or defined as the act of creating a virtual rather than actual version of something, including virtual computer hardware, platform, storage devices, and the computer network resources. So here means that it is like a creation of tools which can later used to learn or perform things, and it is created by using different kind of programs. So a user just a developer just use a program to create a tools. It can be a software or operating system software program which can be learned in different kind of device like mobile, like mobile or phone. And these programs, they are like application software, many apps, they are just performed using this virtualization technology. Then when you go to virtualization technology, is defined as the creation through software of the virtual version of an environment or technological resources. So means that here the tools or operating system software or system software, they are performed by any kind of program so that it can be helping the user to learn many or to perform many tasks. And here we have another term related to virtualization, which is a cloud computing. You can't set the virtualization without having the cloud computing. So here means that cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, including servers, storage, database, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence over the internet to offer faster innovation, flexible resources, and economies of scale. Here means that whenever a user trying to do anything in the computer must have connected with cloud services. Means that even if is requesting of something must be connected to this cloud computing. It means that cloud computing is offering the user to enable the user to do anything. For example, in any organization or company, or whenever if they want to store the records, to keep some files, whatever, means that cloud computing is helping that organization or company to do all of those things by connected with cloud computing services, which include servers. I mean servers for helping the user to to ask or a client to request anything from the internet and get what is requested. And we have database for storing data. We have networking for different kind of computer connection and access files and other kind of services like that. Then we have virtualization in cloud computing. Virtualization in cloud computing is defined as a creation of virtual version of a server, a desktop, a storage device, an operating system, or network resources. Here means that virtualization, when you have connected or enable virtualization in your system, means that you are helping the virtual, the developer or whatever in the internet to develop any kind of tools over the system to help the user to create, to use. So that is like a platform which help the user to perform many tasks. And another thing is like when you have an operating system, for example, it is the Windows Server 2008. When you are installing Windows Server in your computer, it means that you are able to perform many application software, and you are able to connect with different kind of organization or customers by performing multiple tasks. Because in cloud computing, it brings every kind of services which enable this computer or user to control the task or to perform the task. Then we have different types of virtualization. We have hardware virtualization, which is if the virtual machine is directly installed on hardware servers. It is called hardware virtualization because it is easier to control a virtual machine than a physical server. So here means that when you bring about an operating system, I mean like Windows client and Windows server, and you come to install those two operating system in the computer, means that you are enabling the hardware server to perform, to run the virtual machine in the computer and come to perform many tasks. And we have operating system virtualization. If the machine is installed, virtual machine is installed in a guest server instead of the hardware system. It is called operating system virtualization. It increases the testing situation of various software on various operating system platform. So this is another type of virtualization, means that you can install your operating system in a guest server instead of using hardware system, and this is different from hardware virtualization, means that in this method or this type you can have different kind of operating system. Like in computer, like in computer software programs, and you come to install in operating system, and you come to be performed in your operating system platform in your device. Then you have another one which is called server virtualization. Server, as long as we have virtual machine in our computer, means that the device or the computer hardware installed in the computer can be performed in different ways. And here we have different multiple resources, and for performing this task we have storage virtualization. This is the typically based for keeping files from different network. So you can have different kind of device for storage in your computer under this virtualization, which is also used for when you have enabled your storage virtualization. You can be able to back up your files, you can be able to recover them, you can be able to delete and recover them, as long as these files, once you delete, they are restored. They are kept under cloud computing. It means that it's like a resource where you can recover them, all of those data in your computer. So that is called storage virtualization. Then here we have a diagram or illustration of virtualization in cloud computing. For example, here we have a system computer and we have hardware, virtualization, operating system, server, and storage. So as long as a user is using the system, means that if you want to use the operating system software, you must install them so that you can perform different tasks. You can create everything you want and operating system services. And we have hardware virtualization. We have server for giving kind of for serving kind of different requests according to the user's needs. We have storage for storing users' data and everything user is what is using. And we have another, from this slide, we have description of virtualization. As when you are talking about description of virtualization, we are trying to give a background. We are trying to give a background history of virtualization, which means that virtualization started in many years ago, early of 1960, and it was under IBM company. And here, while virtualization technology can be sourced back in the 1960s, it wasn't widely adopted until the area of 2000. The technology that enabled virtualization, like hypervisor, were developed decades ago to give multiple users simultaneous access to computers that performed batch processing. So here, the founder, they were trying to give or to help many users to perform their things at once without any cost. So here in this method of defining, it was a method of logically dividing the system resources provided by mainframe computers between different applications. So means that the only way of performing the operation was by using by using the mainframe computer, which was like a first generation computer, and it was dividing different kind of system resources, which help the user to access them. And in area of 2000, many companies updated their IT environment with less expensive commodity servers, operating system, and application from a variety of vendors. So this, after updating the technology, it means that it reduces the cost by users or company or organization to perform different kind of task and help the customers to gain or to satisfy customers' needs. And virtualization or the speed applicability help reduce vendors' lock and made it the foundation of cloud computing. Here we have different importance of virtualization. First, we have protection from failure. One of the biggest benefits of using virtualization in cloud computing is the way it can prevent your entire system from failure. This is because virtualized infrastructure is separated into containers, which means even if part of your system fails, the rest won't necessarily follow suit. So it means that maybe if you have kind of software, I mean a software program in your computer and you are trying to perform, and once it is failing or corrupted, means that it doesn't mean that it make the whole system to fail to. No, this is just one part of what, which means that it is separated into two from one. I mean, it is separated from your program, software programs separated from the system. So they are not dependable. Means that the software is performed itself and this entire system helps the software to perform the task. So that is protection from failure. It can't make your computer to corrupt because of that program. And another thing of virtualization, once enabled, it helps easy to transfer machine or data. Another great upside of using virtualization is the ability of transfer data between device and servers easily, and you don't need to search through different physical hard drive or data center to find what you need. So here there is a high capability of transferring data from your system or from your device. It can be even more than 1 GB, 2 GB, 3 and above, depending on the computer capacity. So you can transfer data from one machine to another or from one computer to another using this method or using virtualization technology. Another one is security. Virtualization provides more major security benefit in line with what I mentioned before. And before about how each virtual machine is in its own. If you download a malicious file or unintended manage to install malware or virus of your computer machine. So it means that once you enable your virtual machine and hypervisor services, whatever, means that you are also enabling your computer or your system to be secured from unknown resources to come to damage your system and programs at once. So here, virtual, I mean the technology helps also also the company or organization to be secured from malware or from hackers trying to steal their files, whatever. So it ensures protection of the entire system and the user. Another one, it reduces cost by performing many things at once because everything is under one resources. So the resources is just the resources help the user to get everything he needs without any cost or without high cost. Here means that finally from the explanation, it says that when you have virtualization connected in cloud computing or any kind of IT ecosystem, it is simplified cost less. When you can split up physical resources to support multiple virtual desktop servers and so on, you need less storage space and less physical infrastructure. This results in lower upfront cost and lower ongoing cost in terms of electricity and building rental fees. And here we have some kind of company which are using this cloud computing, or which are using virtualization technology and cloud computing. We have Amazon. Amazon, we all know that is a company which have kind of selling product or item online. So here he says that it is the industry standard virtualization platform. Ubuntu Cloud Server supports seamless integration with Amazon services. So Amazon is providing different kind of service to their customers. So this Amazon is connected with server, which help the user to ask anything under search engine, to request anything, so that to receive anything in need, anything you need under anything you need from the what? From the service provided in what? By Amazon. We have Oracle. Oracle help the user to connect, to save his data or her data. So this is like a software program which is used by many company or organization to save their data. So it's like to keep their data or files for future needs or future use. So here, if Oracle or domination of the enterprise database server market doesn't impress you, means that Sun Microsystem has made it an impressive virtualization player. So virtualization software like SolarZone, Erodon, and XVM as their services or their solution which can help those user or organization or company to what? Keep everything under Oracle software. And we have Google. Google also is a search engine which you can type anything you want, app engine, and request from the server, which is part of cloud computing services, and get anything you want at the same time. So all of this company or all of this company, they are trying to help satisfy users' needs. And here we have advantage and disadvantage of virtualization. Here we have uses hardware efficient. Here, when you have virtualization in your device, it helps to use your hardware very faster with no cost, with and perform many things at the same time. So when you are connecting your virtualization and hypervisor services, it helps to manage and maintain everything with low cost of data and the services provided is that it is cheap to the user or customer. And another advantage, it is available at all times. Once you connect your virtualization in your device or your system, means that it is all available. Once you start to develop your software, you create any kind of application software which act as like a platform to different kind of computer hardware platform or or any kind of software system. This virtualization is all available until you set it off, but once you set it on or you enable it, it is available all the time. Another one, recovery is maybe you have your kind of picture, data, kind of files, kind of what, maybe in your mobile or your phone, and you have deleted them accidentally. And once you want to recover them, you just make sure you have virtualization in your device. Once it is missed, you can't recover everything from the cloud computing, because cloud computing services include storage recovery, including picking everything which was in your device and come to back up to them. So that is another advantage of virtualization. Virtualization enables recovery of your things, your data, and back to your system or to your device. Another one is quick and easy setup. Virtualization, it doesn't have many configuration to enable, to make sure that it come to work to your device. Here means that it is just you set from a BIOS setup, and once you go there, you will find the different kind of content to set them, and under that we have virtualization. Then for it is just to enable it. Once you enable it, you are done with your work. You are done with your system, means that you need to restart your system to enable, to help it loading and installing all of the features and program under virtualization, and make it simple to use. And we have cloud migration is easier. So you have different kind of data, you want to transfer them, or you want to pick, upload data, or storing, downloading different kind of information. So here cloud migration is easier, and it is it doesn't consume time on transferring those things from clouds, computing your cloud services to your system. So there is like no time wasting for transferring those things. And we have disadvantage of virtualization, which is the high initial investment. Once you are starting this creation of these tools or using this, organizing this, when once you are trying to organize this tool or developing your virtualization, it is need high investment. You need to have everything so that you perform many risks at the end, satisfy customers' needs. And another one is data can be at risk. And once you have data in your system and it can be corrupted once you don't have virtualization in your computer. But once you have it, it can help to store your data for a long time. We have quick scalability is a challenge. When you come to scale or to scale up your virtual machine and your computer, you need a developer or founder must have much time to schedule everything for purpose of users users come to creating anything or any program for better use or future use. Here is how far the virtualization technology is in terms of development and in use. Here, terms of technology is the foundation of cloud computing that allow more efficient utilization of physical computer hardware. It creates a software based of virtual representation of something such a virtual application server, storage and network. So the technology used under virtualization is just to compile everything and make them more efficient for a user or for a customer. So every kind of physical hardware come to be more efficient to use. So in this nowadays, users can make or can create a software program with no any cost and can make it efficient because everything is there, every tool for creating that software program is there, and the virtualization is enabled. And the another thing is in term of users. Virtualization uses software to create an abstraction layer of a computer hardware that allows the hardware element of a single computer, processor, memory, storage, and more to be divided into multiple virtual computers. So, called virtual machine. So here, virtualization just use different kind of software programs to create application software which help the user to perform tasks or satisfy users' needs. So virtualization is just enabled in different kind of device or hardware so that to help creating the software and getting software over computer hardware. We have virtualization, future trends, and its impact or change humanity and the computing. Virtualization technology has a huge impact on the IT industry, especially in the data centers. Let's continue here. Sorry for the problem of network, but here we can continue that virtualization is technology is mostly used in a different kind of IT industry. Many IT industry use this technology so that they can learn or create, develop many software for in order to use in different kind of hardware. Can it be like mobile devices? So it can be computer hardware, among others. So that here a user can fully launch an operating system from a USB stick, allowing him or her to use tools without leaving any trace of the host. So means that beside this, in order to have a virtual machine, you can enable virtual machine and come to install operating system in your computer so that you start to create tools which will be later used in your system and perform different tasks. A user can use the IaaS model of cloud computing and install virtual machine software on the host account. So virtual machine also need software like Windows client and Windows server needed to be installed in your system so that you can learn multiple tasks and you can learn different kind of programs and software. And in addition, it is the impact of on the data center. Virtualization is emerging as viable technology for smartphone and virtual private network, as well as being used to reconceive a guide in cloud computing. So all of this, there are future trends and impact of virtualization in cloud computing. And the one to add is, as long as you have your system and you want to perform everything and develop apps, develop programs for future needs or for user needs, you must set or configure your virtualization in your computer and a BIOS setup. So that is the basic practice, means that you go to set up and set your virtualization, you enable it so that you perform everything in one system or in your system. Thank you. I think you have got something useful. Wish you all the best. Thank you.